X's and Bros here on the Michigan Sports Network is brought to you today by TwinSpire's online sportsbook racing and casino. Download the TwinSpire Sportsbook app today, and new users can enjoy 7 days of risk-free betting up to $1,000 using the promo code FREE1000.
I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but I love throwing to Hossie. We've had good chemistry every time he's called me. It's only been a few times. I appreciate it. I'm sure I look fantastic right now. No, I love it. I enjoy every second of this.
We were watching you in between innings.
I will say that shaving cream doesn't taste the best.
No.
It's not delicious. It's not whipped cream. I promise you that.
At all. Well, you won't have to find any if you go to shave after the game. You're set there. There's plenty of it still sticking to your face. We were watching you in between innings, and you're not sitting down. You're kind of bouncing back and forth, standing up, where to go. What's going through your mind as you're waiting to get back out on the mound tonight?
Mostly just trying to keep my body loose and just stay locked in. There's been a lot of times in games previous where I'd, lose mental focus in between innings sometimes, especially if things are going really well. I've had a tendency to kind of let off the gas with my mentality sometimes, and lately I've just been really trying to stay as locked in as possible without shifting out of that mindset at all. I'm not perfect with it by any stretch, but I do feel like I've made some huge strides there over the last year. And yeah, just mostly just trying to stay locked in, trying to stay present with the game, but just trying to feel my body the whole time, keep it loose. If I feel like I need to keep anything warm or stretch anything out or roll anything out or whatever it is, I just try to just stay present and feel my body and be ready to go out there the next inning.
Spencer Turnbull, post-game, face full of shaving cream. Not ideal. But the reason for the shaving cream is, welcome back, hour number 3 of X's and Bros here on the Michigan Sports Network. Danica Halen, Brian Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Text the keyword Sports Radio to 21,000, Sports Radio to 21000. Myers Supercenter guest line 313-396-5527, 313-396-5527. On Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and of course, good morning to our television audience as well on both Comcast Channel 900 and on BCSN. Find our podcast, listen back to anything you may have missed on demand by visiting SoundCloud, Google, Apple, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. Plus, you can listen online all the time at MichiganSportsNetwork.com, MichiganSportsNetwork.com. Danica Halen's at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. I'm Anthony Bellino at AAC Bellino. And gentlemen, a historic night for the Detroit Tigers last night. A 5-0 victory over the Seattle Mariners. A no-hitter thrown by Spencer Turnbull. And what an evening, what a morning it was. The 8th no-hitter in franchise history. Justin Verlander threw 2, one in 2011, one in 2017. Jack Morris threw one in 1984. Jim Bunning, 1958. Who could forget Virgil Trucks in 1952? He did it twice. And George Mullen, way back in 1912. I remember the 1912 season like it was yesterday. Incredible. I mean, it was, what a night for Spencer Turnbull, whose road and path to Detroit hasn't been an easy one. And for a guy that was drafted in the second round, for him to be able to do what he did last night, and I think what he said right there was very important, not the shaving cream part, because, yeah, it looks like whipped cream. It'd be better if it was whipped cream. Why they do shaving cream, I have no idea. Probably because it's the only thing available. But when you have a guy like Spencer who's talking about staying in that mentality, and anybody that's played any kind of sport, especially competitively, I'd compare it to golf. If you lose mental focus in a round of golf, you can go from, even couple over on your round through 9 or 10 holes. You start to lose focus. You start to think about other things. If you start to get fatigued, next thing you know, you go double, triple on your way out, and you're like, well, how the hell did that happen? You have to stay very present, very in the moment, very locked in on, your responsibility and your job and what to do next. In learning to do that, those that learn to do that at a young age, God bless them. Because that is that's half the battle, right? 90% of the game is what happens between your ears, so it's even more than half the battle. It's 90% of the battle, and 10% of what you do physically out there. So for Spencer, what a moment for him, and what a moment for the organization.
Also for Dan's boy, Eric Haas, because he becomes the first Tigers rookie catcher to catch a no-hitter and the first rookie catcher to catch a no-hitter since 2009.
That's incredible. Calling a good game. Jamer Candelario at third base. Hot corner. How about him? Defensive stop that he made there in was that the 7th inning? That screamer that was coming at him. He backhanded.
Backhand, takes a nasty hop up. There's always one play in every no-hitter.
Yep. And it's a team accomplishment. It's Haas behind the dish. It's the candy man at third base. It's everybody. That's as much as we hone in on Spencer Turnbull because he gets credit with the stat, and it's awesome. I'm not taking anything away from him. Like, he threw a great game, and this could be, a massive step for him in the confidence game, right? Maybe he approaches it a little bit different. Maybe his approach is, not so much like, I hope I live up to my expectation. I hope I belong here too. I do belong here, and now I'm going to attack. I can attack hitters. I've thrown a no-hitter. Damn it, I belong, right? And I think that's important. I think that's important for all competitors. I think when you start to feel like you're a little overwhelmed, you start to doubt yourself. Whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right.
That maybe it's just a reassurance for the fans because Turnbull's probably the most consistent starter over the last 2.5 years for this team. I mean, people like to say Matthew Boyd, but last year was not great for him. 2 years ago was. So Turnbull's just been the guy that's just been there.
And I love that the tweet from XB Mornings just now. I don't know which one of you guys threw that up there, but that one special play, Candyman, locked in. I mean, that thing, whoo, it was spicy. That was spicy. He handled it, the throw, the catch at first by Cabrera.
That's a play Candelario probably doesn't make 2 years ago. Because his
talk about extension?
Well, just the way his defense has improved has been amazing over the last year and a half. Because when he first came up with the Tigers, he was defensive liability at third base. And the work he's put in to become a solid defender, because that's one position you can't have a bum at third base.
No. Not at all. Or it's short. You really can't.
At least we got half of that covered right now with the Tigers.
Half is good. Half is progress, right? But you're absolutely right, though. I mean, with Jamer Candelario, here's a guy that has, kind of steadily improved throughout the course of his career, right? His batting average continues to climb. His OBP continues to climb. His slugging, his OPS plus, like it just continues to get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And at 27 years old, I don't want to say that he is a sure thing by any stretch of the imagination, but he's been very good at the position, and as you mentioned, getting better at the position. And that's important. It's important to see guys continue to, even though they're in their, mid to late 20s, because Shep and I were talking about this on Monday. I asked, is it because of some of the youth on the team? And he's like, hey, maybe youth as far as major league time, but these aren't young guys. And he's absolutely right. Like, mid-20s, late 20s, like, play the game. Play the game. And I think that this might be a launch point. Much like Casey Mize and his 7 strong innings the other night, 7 2/3, this might be one of those moments we look back in time and say, hey, you know what? This Tigers team, it was in the 2021 season, coming out of COVID. They started to figure some things out. And some of the guys that they had invested a lot of time, and a lot of draft capital in, some of these guys, they started to kind of turn things around and really take that next step to Major League Baseball success. 5-0 victory for the Tigers. Turnbull's final line, 9 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 117 pitches. His ERA now sits at 2.88. We'll step aside. When we return, we had playing games last night. We'll talk about it next here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Score a major payday this May with BetMGM. It's the best time to sign up for the king of sportsbooks because they're giving new customers a shot at an easy $100. Hi, this is Matt Shepard. Register using code SHEPBET100 and win $100 in free bets when you place a $1 moneyline wager on the Warriors or Lakers, and if either team hits a 3, you win, regardless of your bet's outcome. I mean, come on, folks. The Warriors make more threes than anybody. Steph Curry's a three-point shooting machine. Whether you're raising the stakes on basketball and hockey playoffs or wagering on your favorite baseball team, BetMGM is always ready for action. Enjoy innovative parlay selection builders, daily promotions, boosted odds specials, and a whole lot more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use code SHEPBET100 to win $100 when you bet $1 on the Warriors or Lakers making a three. If they hit it, you're a winner. New customer offer. Paid in free bets. Must be 21 years or older. Michigan only. If you think you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
We have batteries, brakes, mufflers, and more at your Auto Value Hard Store, where service is the difference. We get it.
5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil are now just $31.99 after rebate. Easy Chill air conditioning recharging kits are just $29.99, and Wizards Mist and Shine is just $10.99. Shop online at myautovaluestore.com and save 15% on orders of $75 or more with coupon code FAST15. That's Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
10 for 10 is back at Meijer. Buy 10 items and get the 11th free. Save more across the store with 10 for 10 savings on things like red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. Select General Mills cereal like Cheerios and Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs. And Crest regular toothpaste. Plus, get free Meijer pickup when you spend $35 or more. Visit the Meijer app for more details. Enjoy more savings with 10 for 10 at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
The Meijer guest line is open for you to join the conversation on X's and Bros. Meijer is a proud sponsor of the Michigan Sports Network and the official sponsor of the Detroit Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, and Lions.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danica Halen, Brian Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you this morning. Text the keyword Sports Radio to 21,000, Sports Radio to 21000. On the Meijer Supercenter guest line, 313-396-5527. On Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on both Comcast Channel 900 and on BCSN. Find our podcast, listen back to anything you may have missed on demand via SoundCloud, Google, Apple, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app, MichiganSportsNetwork.com, MichiganSportsNetwork.com. Dan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan is at RyanL_Key, and I am at AEC Bellino. We've got Riggs from Barstool coming up at 8:35 this morning. We'll talk to him about the Let Them Play Classic. A story, Dan, Ryan, that deeply touches my heart. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but my older sister played college golf, and my parents didn't trust me. Whether that was right of them or wrong of them, I don't know. But my sister played college golf for a college, St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. Right across the street from Notre Dame. So everybody all of a sudden is...
Where Rudy went.
Heard of the guy. Probably the most overrated sports movie of all time. Anyway,
I will turn your microphone off.
You want to go down this route right now?
No, it's fine.
You want it? Me and you?
No, we were going to talk about your sister.
Hey, take it easy, Mr. I portion out my pasta. Savage, sicko. Anyways, so my sister played college golf. And, you know, they play schools like Albion and Hope would be in tournaments. And I'm trying to think about other teams that nothing else is coming to my mind. I just remember, I think it was Alma. I think it was Albion. Some girl shot some ridiculous number. I mean, it was huge. It was a big, big number. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching just ball after ball go out of bounds. And I'm like, this is a 15, right? And then I think she might have said she had an 11. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way you had. But whatever. You got to find ways to keep yourself entertained. And they played in their, the NCAA held their nationals that year in Wisconsin. I believe I had to go to Wisconsin. That was a miserable experience. It was cold. It was rainy. It was, I'm watching, there was a porta-john in the middle of the woods, but you could see like 3 greens and it was the only covered area. So I'm standing in a porta-john looking out the vents, like trying to watch because it was terrible. It was awful, awful experience. So I know what these young ladies are going through firsthand because I lived it, because my parents made me go to every tournament every weekend because if they were going, I had to go with them because they would not leave me unsupervised in the home.
Smart.
Dude, trash. I stayed one time at my grandparents' house. That was a mess. Oh, my goodness. God love her, but yeah, that wasn't all the fun. But they wouldn't let me I wasn't allowed to stay the night anywhere. You know what I mean? It was just like basically living in Soviet Russia. Yeah, that's what it was. It's a sickle and a hammer. They might as well just had that flag just hanging outside of our house. Like, welcome. These are the rules. My mom, Karen Stalin. Like, great. Anywho, so I saw this story come out that Riggs will join us here momentarily about it, and it was a story that I understood. I could relate to. They went down to Pinehurst, and we had to travel down to Pinehurst. They played number 8 or whatever for maybe I don't know what tournament was down there, but I used to clean their clubs afterwards because they would put all their bags out, and I didn't have anything else to do. So I just started cleaning clubs because it was an activity. It was something for me to do. There's 6 golfers or whatever, so it gave me something to do for a half hour, 45 minutes. Like, this is before tablets and everything else. The kids these days, Perry Park, Kentucky, just all over the country, just terrible. So many weekends lost, unbelievable. Anyways, we'll get to it, but it wasn't. All in all, it's a story that resonated with me. Her teammate actually ended up winning the national championship in 2001, maybe 2001, 2002. Stephanie Simmerman is her name. So it's it's a story, and that's what I got there. So I figured I'd share that with you guys.
Some little backstory before we get to Riggs. I was listening to a podcast with this. It's the CEO of Barstool, Erica Nardini, and she brought on 3 of the golfers that will be in this Let Them Play tournament.
Oh, awesome.
From Oregon State. And some were just like, yeah, we're in our COVID year. Like, this is our second senior season. Because last year, we didn't have a regional to go to.
Right.
Because it was canceled. And then we go this year, and they show up. They're supposed to golf Monday. There's rain, so it was getting delayed. And when they pushed it to Tuesday, rest of Monday, it was 75 and sunny. They show up. It rains Monday night into Tuesday morning. They show up again. It's delayed. And, again, they push it back, say, all right, we'll go Wednesday. We'll play 1 round. And then, again, Tuesday, after they postpone it, 75 and sunny. And also Tuesday, all of a sudden, LSU's men's team is practicing on that course. So they wouldn't let the women play on the course, but it's good enough to let the LSU's men's team on.
Wow.
And then for Wednesday, the reason why it was canceled, they say it's not at championship level. Granted, they didn't really have grounds crews out there, but the bylaws in the NCAA say for women's golf, like, hey, if we get to Wednesday, if you can't get in 18 holes, we take the top 6 seeded teams and move them on. Where other sports have it, where it's like, hey, you have up until the Sunday before the final start. For golf, they don't have that written in. They have it written in by Wednesday. We need to make a decision. If they can't play, we move on to the top 6 teams. So that's what happened in this instance. It's where the top 6 seeded teams out of the 18 moved on.
And so the rest will play at the Let Them Play Classic in Arizona, which is, the fact that Barstool pulled this whole thing together is incredible. So hats off to them. My sister now my phone is electric. It's smoldering over here. My mom is upset that I compared her to Stalin. Look, I had to talk about my life, how I see it, right? This is my journey, my venture.
Hope your mother comes to your house before the show ends and just really puts you on lockdown.
Why would you say that about me? I can hear her now. My
call
sister,
it a technical foul.
My sister, it was 2003 in Green Lake, Wisconsin. It was cold. It was nasty. It was wet. Ugh, Awful. Terrible weather to play golf in. You want to talk about not championship level golf? And I got invited to play the other day. My buddy Twigs, he was like, "Hey, we're going out. We're gonna play the Legacy. I don't know if you guys have ever played the Legacy. It's in Monroe County, but they have an island green. That's what it's famous for. It's a great course, but it's 60 degrees. And I'm like, hey, I'm not playing unless it's over 70. He's like, you're soft. You're this. You're that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Next thing you know, he sends me a text like 90 minutes later, and he's like, it's windier than hell out here. It's miserable. I said, I told you, it's 70 degrees minimum in sunny, or I'm not going out there. I don't have to play in subpar conditions anymore. And I know Terry's probably rolling his eyes where he's listening from, going, oh, Bellino, you're soft. I played Arcadia Bluffs when it was 34 degrees out in November. I know it, Terry. I'll give you a medal for it. You're just not going to find me out there. 34 degrees, I'm going to be somewhere the heat's on. I can tell you that, not Benny Blades busting my hands out there with my irons. I meant to talk about the playing game. Somehow I got distracted, and this is what happens. Two things real quick on the playing games. One, important because it got some of these teams on national television. I think that the Pacers are one of those stories that, they get lost in the sauce. Same with the Charlotte Hornets. If not for LaMelo Ball, the Ball news cycle never stops. So it was good to get them on national TV. It was an important game. Let me tell you, I saw something on Twitter that infuriated me. If the Detroit Pistons are taking the next step next year, they will not be the Charlotte Hornets because they will not be that ill-prepared. They will not fold when the going gets tough. They won't get, that Charlotte team had no heart. They had no stones, no will, no desire. They were miserable last night. Good for the Pacers for pounding them without Karis LeVert because Dwayne Casey wouldn't let that happen for this Pistons team. He's a coach of the year, and there's a reason for that. We'll step aside. We're going to talk to Riggs from Barstool next here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Anthony Bellino here on behalf of Twin Spires Sportsbook. As a Michigan Sports Network listener, you can now unlock a risk-free bet of up to $1,000 for signing up with Twin Spires. Just use the promo code FREE1000 and you can bet with the Kentucky Derby of Sportsbooks right from your phone. Playoff hockey, playoff basketball, baseball, golf majors, boxing, and much more. All at the Twin Spires Sportsbook. Download the app and start betting today. Void where prohibited. For terms and conditions, visit twinspires.com. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Michigan to bet. For help with the gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
10 for 10 is back at Meijer. Buy 10 items and get the 11th free. Save more across the store with 10 for 10 savings on things like red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. Select General Mills cereal like Cheerios and Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs. And Crest regular toothpaste. Plus, get free Meijer pickup when you spend $35 or more. Visit the Meijer app for more details. Enjoy more savings with 10 for 10 at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
We have batteries, brakes, mufflers, and more at your Auto Value Hard Store, where service is the difference. We get it.
5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil are now just $31.99 after rebate. Easy Chill air conditioning recharging kits are just $29.99, and Wizards Mist and Shine is just $10.99. Shop online at myautovaluestore.com and save 15% on orders of $75 or more with coupon code FAST15. That's Auto Value, where service is the difference. We get it.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.